Coders, and today I'm going to be showing you part 10 in our iPhone SDK Tutorial Series, and this is going to be over Twitter integration in iOS 5. Apple really went out of their way to make this real easy for users to use. So again, you're going to need the iOS 5 SDK to follow along with this tutorial, but you should already have it because it is public now. So we're just going to start a new project in Xcode, and as we usually do, just single view. It looks a little different now, but it's the same thing. I'm just going to call mine Twitter demo, and you can just use the rest like this, and then save it wherever. So a couple things we're going to need to do to get this working out of the box here is we're going to need to add the Twitter framework, which is new to iOS 5. So if you have iOS 5, then you're using Xcode 4. So just go to build phases and link binary with libraries, and we're just going to add the Twitter framework. And this is just going to let us, access Twitter. I'm sure you guys know that. So that's all we got to do there. While we're here, we might as well just go into our view controller header file and oops. Oh man. And import Twitter/Twitter.h. This will import the headers for Twitter. And in our view controller, this is going to be real simple. So what I'm going to do is just change the background because it looks real ugly right now, and just add a button. And we'll just we'll just put the title for this to send tweet. Okay, so now in our implementation file, actually in our header file, let's make two things. First of all, let's create a new UI image, and we'll use that later, and create a new method, and this is going to be called sendTweet. Go ahead and copy this over to our implementation. And save it, and then in our view did load, I'm going to go ahead and add, set up this image. And we're going to have to add that to our application. I already have mine ready to go, but you can use whatever picture. Just make sure you rename it right here to whatever you named it. Alright, so now we can start setting up Twitter. The first thing that we should do is check to see if the user has a Twitter account set up, because if they don't, then it won't work, and we should tell them to set one up. So how you do this is you just say if tw tweet composer view controller can send tweet, and it returns a boolean yes or no. And so if it can send a tweet, then we send the tweet, else so I'm assuming you already have one set up, so we'll just jump right in here. We're going to set up a view controller, Twitter view controller, and Apple did this really easily. All this is a view controller, so you can just present it and set it up like you normally would as a custom view controller. So we'll just call this sheet. Set it up here, and then we're going to set the initial text, which essentially it just adds text to the view to send from the beginning. It's optional, but I'm going to do it. I'm also going to add our image here, and this is also optional. You don't have to have images, but I'm going to put it there anyways. Okay, so now that we have the thing set up, all we have to do is present it. And the one thing about this is we're gonna want a completion handler, which lets us determine what happened if the user like sent the tweet or if they canceled the tweet. It's just good to have so we can change our program's execution flow depending on what they decided to do. So you do this is you just say the sheet's completion handler is equal to, I don't know if you've ever seen completion handlers before, but it looks like this. And essentially this is just going to return a Boolean 2, and it kind of looks like an if statement. We are going to add a semicolon on the end though. And we're just going to say if result equals TW result done, then this in here is the tweet has successfully been sent. And then in this one we're going to say if result equals TW canceled, then the user canceled the tweet and it didn't get sent. Alright, so if the tweet was sent, then, I mean, you could display like an alert to say success, but I'm not going to do that. Just know that this is where you would do it for success, and this is where you would do it for a cancel. So that's what happens on completion. And then in here, when after the completion is done, we're just going to say self dismiss view controller, just like you would anything else to dismiss the Twitter view controller. Notice that I'm not releasing this because in iOS 5 it has automatic reference counting where it releases objects for you, which is really nice. Last but not least, we just have to add our action to the button, and then it will work. That's really all you have to do. So if we build and run this, when it loads up, you see we have this send tweet button, and when we press it, we have a nice, one problem. So I had the dismiss here accidentally outside of the completion handler, but we actually want it right on the inside, otherwise it will dismiss before the user gets to do anything. So now if we save this and run it, it'll pop up, and then we'll have this send tweet button, and when we click it, you see we have a nice little tweet sheet with text and an image, and of course both those are optional. You can just present a blank tweet sheet. If you were on the actual device, you could click this and it would get your location and send, cancel buttons, and each one respectively calls this or this on completion if you want to do other stuff. So that is it, guys. Until next time.